Be it resolved that an e-book reader in hand is worth 100 printed books. For the motion, please help me welcome Lucas.
Although the motion says 100 books, I would actually beg to differ and say it's 10,000, 100,000, a million books, basically everything in your hand. The ebook, I think, will do for humanity in terms of like what the iPod has done, or the internet, in terms of the distribution of information. For the longest period of time, we've used audio tapes, CDs. When the iPod came along, there really wasn't much fight. Same thing with VHS. When we had VHS, we went over to DVD. There wasn't much fight. Now that we're going over the internet. See, but I'm not even going to go there. The one thing I'm going to fundamentally talk about is democratization. And if I have to, is talk about the book, the pocketbook. In the 15th century, a Venetian printer by the name of Thomas Aldus, he invented the pocketbook. The italic font was originally created to condense words so that he can fit as many words as possible into a book. And it changed everything. It really did. It standardized a lot of things. It helped correct a lot of things. And it went from a few books to the very few scholars to like everyone can have access to information. But books are not enough. We're now in the internet age where information it's a lot easier to access information. But why is it we're still stuck in the 15th century technology? The e-book, the e-reader, is 21st century technology. And it is cheap. It's only about $50 to $100, and the price is continuously going down. Why are we spending $180 million a year on our public libraries for paper books when we should be entering the 21st century? If Thomas Aldus were alive today, he would say, let's go with the e-reader.
Thank you, Lucas. And now to speak against the motion, please help me welcome Kayan.
Ladies and gentlemen, ebooks are not worth 100 books. First of all, mathematically, if you calculate that a book is around $10 to $20 times 100, that's $2,000, or $1,000 to $2,000. That is not the cost of ebook. However, past the practicalities, a real book is romance. How can you compare the beautiful, scented, dusty papers with a plastic piece of thing? It's an object. What about the wonderful feeling of a room full of books and then going into your friend's place and looking at what they read and suddenly learning about what their interests are and understanding that person just by looking at their library? Have you ever done that? A book is also legacy, and it's memory. You can hand it off to your daughter, and she can hand it off to her son, and he can hand it off to his dog. But it is memory, and it's legacy. I mean, you'll always remember the time when your homework or your book has been, at least you have an excuse to not do your homework, right? A book is also art. It's writing that will never be forgotten. It's a piece. If you've ever had a book that was binded by hand, you know that it's a work of artistry, and it's nothing in comparison to, again, the plastic thing. A book is also not just, it's beyond democracy because it's sharing and it's the community. You will always remember when there was a great book that you read, and then you can share it with your friends and say, hey, have you read that great book? I think you would love it. And then get their feelings on it and get their ideas on it. It's a great thing to be able to share what you have and create that sense of community again. And the sense of community is about being human, and that's never going to be outdated. It's never going to be outdated or not modern to share things and to have relationships with the people that are around you. So I would argue that that's even more important. So ebooks are definitely not worth 100 books.
Thank you, Kayan. And now, to close the debate, please help me welcome Lucas.
One question I'd like to bring up is, how many people here have actually read these books? I haven't. Okay, you and you, okay. In the end, these books are basically decorative. And yes, if you do want to get books and kind of like put up on your walls and sit by your fireplace and have your Merlot and your cognac and listen to, Sibelius or Rachmaninoff or anyways, you get my point. It's decorative. And I understand the idea of the bondage and the feel and everything, but we are kind of, when you look at it, wood paneling, it doesn't really exist anymore. We're all gone to drywall. We're exiting that age. But besides that point, in terms of books, if you go to, like, for example, Project Gutenberg, there's like 30,000 to 40,000 free books they just give away for free to anyone. Amazon.com now, on average, are selling books for half price as opposed to their paperback counterparts. But the fundamental thing that the opposition is talking about is that the medium is the message and that the book itself is the message. I disagree. In the end, I really think the message is the message, and never get caught up by the medium. The e-reader is the future.
Thank you, Lucas. And now, if I can have your votes for the motion. 7. And against the motion? 8. Okay. Kayan has won the debate against.